Hey, what's going on? Barnaby here, hanging out with my Flex Giraffe sander and awesome companion piece, the Flex Vac. Chris, come on in here. I need a third accessory apparently. Chris with Flex, what's going on?
How are you, Barnaby?
Good. Hey, so distributors are going to be all over this because I think the slogan of Flex says it all, and that is made for professionals by professionals. Explain that to me.
Definitely. You're looking at a 95-year-old manufacturing company, Flex, Steinheim, Germany, near Stuttgart. Been manufacturing power tools for just about 95 years. We've been in the drywall market for just coming up on over 20 years.
Okay, and so the word on the street is this is the best of the best. True or false?
Definitely true. For the last 2 years, this unit's been used all across the world. And one of the key components in the whole unit is definitely the shaft. The center shaft is where we started with the real design of the unit and built everything around that.
Okay, and so the failure rate on that shaft, which with lesser models is one of the key fail points. I mean, you guys have some pretty astounding numbers there. What's that?
Definitely. We've sold, worldwide over 20,000 plus units, and we've literally had 2 units.
2 out of 20,000.
2 failed shafts out of 20,000 plus units sold worldwide.
So a distributor could sell this with confidence that they're putting a great tool into the hands of
It's
a
the number one
professional.
question I get whenever I have a distributor ask me about the unit is how long does the shaft last? And I can tell them with confidence that it is going to last for a very long time.
Okay, and you know what? It is interesting because there's a lot of show and tell going on with this. I mean, when you first pick it up, other sanders are much more rigid. They don't have the give. So what's the point of this?
Design technology there. You have the flexibility of moving towards the contours of your room. If your wall has any shape to it, this is going to easily float along the wall.
Right, and I see some great construction right here. Here's some stamped metal. It's got a great feel to it. It's got great shock absorption here, so the skirting that is the dust collection system is going to stay flush on the wall. And then there's just the feel. The feel of it, it feels just like a custom-made tool.
It's not very heavy at all.
No, describe that.
Yeah. One of the biggest things, you see an S shape here.
Yeah.
The head of the unit's actually arched towards the wall, the motor arches back towards you. And ergonomically, when you're holding that against the wall at an extended period of time, this is going to feel better in your hands overall.
Okay, so what is the rate of dust collection on this?
It's 99.8% virtually dust-free.
I think I saw a commercial out of Europe where they were actually setting up for a party and there was the last second drywall sanding over the hors d'oeuvres and there was no dust coming down.
Exactly. They do that at trade shows sometimes. They'll have tea or coffee set up and you'll be standing above that station to make your tea and coffee, and it's virtually dust-free.
Okay, and so then it's great to hold, great to use, and also some variable speed action right here, a trigger lock. Take you through it.
The trigger system here is also a thing that I get pointed out a lot. Typical units out in the market have a switch up here. Ours has a speed sensitive trigger, so as you're just getting started on the wall, you can start that out with a soft start.
Yep.
Push the locking button, then now you can move your hand wherever you feel comfortable when you're on the wall. You also have the capabilities with your thumb to also control the speed while you're working without having to stop or take the unit off the wall.
Okay, and you can always just lock it into place with the trigger lock. Like you said, once you find your groove, then you're good to go. You can actually extend it for a more comfortable feel. All right, it's also, the companion piece right here is an awesome vacuum cleaner that is a switched one, so it's trigger activated off of here, right?
Yes, exactly. As I pull the trigger, the motor turns on. It's got the auto setting on it. The motor then will stay on for about 10 seconds, allowing the dust to come out of the hose and go into the unit.
Okay, and even the thoughtfulness of this. The hose is anti-static in nature, correct?
Yeah, it sure is. It has an anti-static characteristic, basically carbon built into the plastic. That allows the static electricity that's created through the dust that you're creating when sanding travels down the hose to the actual unit itself. And one of the things you may have heard when we brought the unit in is a little bit of a jingle. And that jingle is very important. That's actually the chain that fully grounds the unit to the room that you're working in on the floor.
Every inch of the way what you see is great thoughtfulness with this, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, very intelligently designed. Now let's say, because it is going to be sold to professionals, that there's a tear in the hose inadvertently because you're on a job site with a lot of moving parts, right?
Yeah,
how do you repair that?
This is a thing that gets asked a lot. The hose itself is very flexible. You can move it in all different ways. But if there happens to be a crack in the hose on the job site, you're easily able to cut a clean cut there. Reverse thread. I always have trouble with this, but reverse thread, it screws right off. You put it wherever you have that clean cut. and you can easily screw it right back on the hose.
Okay, so what I see is an easy sell for distributors right here because it is a top quality machine. It has well engineered, well thought out parts with very little possibility of anything going wrong, so what's not to love?
Exactly.
So if you need any more compelling reasons to think about stocking and selling the Flex Giraffe and vac, we ran across longtime drywaller Mitch, put it into his hands, and got his take on how it might have changed his life had he had one so long ago. So we're hanging out here at the job site, which is actually one of your houses, right?
Yes,
Okay, and you're a guy that did a lot of drywalling in your time?
that's correct.
Right? And so you were telling me a quick story about you wish these had been around back in the day when you were actually working the pole sander. Why is that?
I've had 3 sinus surgeries because we didn't have the vacuum system back when I sanded. We ate all the dust.
No mask?
No mask.
Dude,
Yeah,
I know. But now with this, 98% dust collection
that's right.
would have saved you 3 surgeries.
That's right. That's the thing of the future. It's nice.
It's happening now, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, all the information is going to be at flexnorthamerica.com, or you can always call Chris or his compadre Bob at the number you see crawling across the screen. But you'll be doing your customers a big favor to put this on your shelf, because once it goes out the door, you're never going to hear back from them unless they say, hey, when can I get another one?
Bottom line, the distributors I know that have brought the unit in, they bring 1 or 2 units in to start. Their next order is a pallet.
Awesome.